The Red Badge of Courage. From Cowardice to Courage and Determination by Rebecca Morrison. In this presentation, I will explain the development of Henry's character that happens through the choices he makes, which trigger emotions that push him to become courageous and determined. Henry makes two major mistakes in this book: enlisting in the army and fleeing from battle. But it is not just the choices alone that are mistakes. It is the reason behind making the choices that ultimately lead to a hefty consequence. Henry's initial reason for enlisting in the army is because he believes that there is glory in fighting in the war, and he wants to experience that glory. So already we can see a pattern of selfishness. And not only does he enlist for his own selfish reasons, but he also flees from battle for his own selfish reasons, and then tries to justify it. So ultimately, these selfish choices lead to a hefty consequence, and that is the fact that Henry is now a coward and also considers himself one. He knows that his actions intent in justifying what he did, even more so when a fellow comrade admits to being afraid of the upcoming battle. His cowardice goes further when he hopes in his mind that the other soldiers will also feel fear so that he can further justify his actions. But after justifying his actions to himself for so long, Henry starts to feel the guilt and shame of his choices. He comes across wounded soldiers and begins to wish that he too had a red badge of courage, because they are only wounded from staying and fighting in the battle. Miscommunication with another soldier leads to Henry being hit in the head and receiving a head wound. His comrades praise him for this, not knowing the reason behind the wound, but Henry knows the reason and knows that it is not a true red badge. These feelings of guilt lead him to become courageous. He is able to overcome his wrongdoings, make peace with them, and join his comrades in yet another battle. But this time he has a newfound sense of courage. The battle approaches and Henry stands tall, determined not to give in to fear or pain. This is the true development of Henry. He went from being a coward to having pride toward holding the flag for his regiment and staying put at the front even after being shot at. Henry's choices is what causes him to develop throughout the story. The consequences of his choices ultimately leads to him to feel guilt, which he is able to overcome. He puts on a face of courage, which is the theme of the story, and fights alongside his comrades in determination, which relates to the literary device of determinism. Thank you for your time.